Welcome back to episode 10.2 of Valley Sports Talk. We'll call this our 10th episode since we had a bit of camera malfunction last episode, so we're back to the old camera that we were using for the prior episodes. Won't be going back to that anytime soon. Today we're just going to be talking about a little bit of NBA and NFL buzz. So we'll jump right into it. A couple days ago, the Wizards announcer said on live television that Ben Simmons is one of the most overrated players in the league. We're just going to give our little comments on that. We'll save Max till last because we know that Max is a Ben Simmons fanboy. So we'll let me and Brandon go first. I don't know if you want to go ahead.
I'll go. I mean, mine's pretty simple. I've said it before in the podcast when we were arguing about it before. I think Ben Simmons is perfectly rated. I said this exact words in the podcast before. Like, people say he's a good defender. He is a good defender. People say he's a good inside scorer. He is a good inside scorer. Good passer. He is a good passer. I mean,
do you think this guy should have made that? Do you agree with that guy's comment or no?
Obviously not, because I don't think he's overrated.
Okay.
And one of the most overrated players in the league is like, he's not. The guy's not saying he's overrated. He's saying he's the most overrated player in the league, which is pretty outrageous. But I mean, we'll let Max tell it because he's the biggest Ben Simmons lover here. But I think he's everything people say he is, so perfectly rated.
Yeah, I put him sort of perfectly rated or overhated. You know, what you're going to get out of him, you're going to get probably around, he's averaging like 17. You're probably going to get closer to like 28 and 8 a night. 6'8", 6'10" point guard that can defend 1 through 5. I'd personally take that on my team every day. Sure, he can't shoot, but when you can do everything else right, you can kind of put shooting to the side. Obviously, if he gains a shooting form or any type of jumper, he could be one of the most unstoppable players in the league. I mean, we could say the same thing with Zion.
And Giannis.
And Giannis, yeah. Giannis is already pretty dominating, though, but he'd be even more if he gains a shooting.
I expected Ben Simmons to go off last night without JoJo.
He was limited minutes.
26.
I mean, that's not as much as he usually play. And it was a blowout, too.
14 points.
9 assists.
I still lost.
And he had a steal.
Yeah, you lost, too.
Yeah, I know.
Max is 10-1 now.
That was
10-1. I
don't understand how my team lost. I just don't
My
get
team's
it.
better than people think it is. I was injured.
Yeah, but
I was
on
injured.
paper.
I'm like Scott. My team's not winning caliber like Scott.
I almost beat Ethan.
But it's better.
I still
than
feel like
thought.
on paper my team should win, but like I don't know.
You play me this week.
I know, and I should. I just made a good trade.
I didn't even see that. What was it?
I got Draymond, and then I gave up Halliburton and Carmelo Anthony.
For who?
Just Draymond.
Oh, you got Draymond back.
So it's basically Halliburton.
So you traded Draymond to me, and then you got him back again.
Yeah, because I realized
I traded Goran Dragic and Draymond for Norman Powell to Khaled. I did not think he was gonna accept it at all, but he just accepted on the first thing. I was like, okay.
Draymond put up a triple.
You guys should send trades to Khaled more often because like he accepts basically everything.
He doesn't have a whole lot though.
No, he's 2-7. He lost to Evan Menard, and Evan doesn't even have his lineup.
That's because Khaled's traded away all his players. He doesn't have anyone.
He has Anthony Davis who's not even playing.
He has AD. I might try to take AD from him. AD will play.
But yeah, we'll let Max talk about Ben Simmons. Going back to him.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna ride. Actually, I'm probably getting shit for saying that. I'm not gonna go hard on the whole Ben Simmons thing here, but I would agree that with Noah that he's overhated. My main points are just that people bash Ben Simmons for not being able to shoot, but
I would say he's overhated.
Pardon?
I agree with overhated.
Overhated, fair enough. Okay, so I feel like the reason he's hated so much is because it's unusual to see a point guard who shoots so little. Like, I was just saying that we kind of he's an easy target to make fun of. Like, you see a lot of memes and like just like little funny things on the internet about
you
how,
see
like,
every time he attempts a three.
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
You see it on the highlights.
Exactly, and so the whole Ben Simmons can't shoot thing has stuck around for a while. But the thing is like he actually is a really good player. Like Noah was saying, he's 6'10". He can run the floor like no one else. He can steal like no one else, and he can pass like probably he's an elite passer as well. I'd say he's probably a top 5 passer in the league right now. And then although he can't shoot that well, he's still efficient from the floor. So like all the shots he is taking, at least that he's efficient with it. So he's not like he's a cancer to your team on the offensive end either. So I still think he's a bit overhated just because like that guy's comment the other day, like why would he be the most overrated player? No one's saying that Ben Simmons is a number one guy. All we're saying is he's a good number two guy.
Yeah.
That's a good complimentary piece.
That's where we have our argument.
Yeah, but you can still say that he's an all-star level player that can be a number two guy, number three guy.
I'd say more number three guy, in my opinion.
But it's okay. But that's like saying he can still be he's close to that two range though, right?
Yes,
right.
For sure.
And I guess what that guy's saying is he's saying he's the most overrated player. I'm like, how does that really make sense? No one's saying he's the MVP. I think all that people are saying is that he could be a number two spot. And that's not even that crazy considering how well he's playing. And like last night was an example. They got a blowout win. He didn't need to do that much, obviously, but
he didn't do that much.
He didn't do that much, but he still had 9 assists. He was efficient from the floor. He had 14 points, and he had a steal. Like that's all you need from your number 3-2 guy. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't have much else to say.
Yeah, for sure. Ben Simmons is definitely a great player, and I don't know. Like I said, this guy, I kind of compared Ben Simmons to Russell Westbrook, other than the fact that Ben Simmons is 6'10" and Russ is only 6'3". Yeah. They both do get like around 18, 20 points, and they both put up like the same amount of rebounds, assists, and they both can barely shoot. Mm-hmm. Personally, I'd still take Westbrook shooting a bit, but like you said on our text there, that Simmons probably would take smarter shots than Westbrook.
Yeah. Like basically, how I would put it is Simmons knows his limits, Westbrook doesn't. Westbrook is the type of player that although he can put up those monster stats, he doesn't know when to turn it off whenever he's not getting that shot. So like if they're in the playoffs and you have OKC going up against Damian Lillard, Westbrook's not going to be able to shoot like Damian Lillard, and you know what he's going to do? He's going to try to, and he's going to just make his team worse.
Well, that's the problem.
That's the issue.
Like, they'll both score 16, but Ben Simmons will shoot 7 from 10 from the field, and Russell will shoot 7 from 20 from the field.
Exactly, 100%.
So he's just taking shots away from other people, like, where Ben Simmons is taking the shots he can make, and if not, he's giving it to Joel Embiid or Harris or Curry.
And it's just winning basketball at the end of the day. So
yeah, you can see where the Wizards are, bottom tier team.
They're starting to win some games.
The Sixers
with
are
Beal out.
A higher tier team, obviously.
Honestly, I think the way for Westbrook for his team to do the best, for him to be on that team, it literally just has to be his team. That's how they do well. Because like if you look at like whenever Westbrook was like in his MVP form and his MVP,
they had no.
They had literally no one, and it was just like, okay, do whatever the fuck you want. And that's, I feel like with this Wizards team, it's kind of similar to that OKC. It's like Westbrook, just do whatever the fuck, like just go play your heart out. And I feel like if there's no other All-Star that he has to think about, then he just,
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Speaking of the Scissors. Speaking of the Sixers, we're gonna talk about our East Final favorites. Oh jeez. Somebody go ahead with your East Final.
All right, so I have still my East Final. Like I have the Nets and the Sixers still playing against each other in the East Finals, but I have the Nets winning. I think the Sixers are really close, but considering Joel Embiid has just been now put on the injured reserve for 2 weeks, that's questionable for their team. Hopefully he comes back fully healthy. I think he'll be fine, but there's some chemistry issues maybe there. Who knows? And I see the Nets just continuing on, considering they have KD getting added. So yeah,
I agree with Max. I have the same. I got the Nets and the Sixers. I also have the Nets winning. I mean, I think it could be close. If like Max says, Joel Embiid comes back and he's got no outlying issues. It seems like they got away with a pretty minor injury when it could have been something a lot more serious. But yeah, we hope like 2 weeks in a division that's this close can do a lot in standings wise, and I mean the Sixers showing they can still do it, blowing out the Spurs.
And the Spurs are a pretty good team actually right now.
The Spurs are decent, and I mean, if it'll all come down, it'll be an interesting series because you basically got offense against defense. When you got players like Danny Green and Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, and then you got amazing scorers like Irving and Durant and Harden. It'll be a fun series.
I'm going different. I got Nets, Bucks. I feel like this is the Bucks year. I also have the Bucks winning. Like Brand said, it's kind of offense, defense. You got Giannis, Middleton, and Drew Holiday, who are all probably elite defenders. I'd say Holiday and Giannis are more elite than Middleton. I feel like if it's going to be any team that's going to be able to lock up the Nets scoring, it's going to be the Bucks over the Sixers. I just feel, I don't know. I don't really know. I can't really explain why. Just I feel like I'm going. Yeah, exactly. I'm going with my gut, and I just think that this is going to be the Bucks year after like 2 years of not meeting expectations. I think this is going to be the year that they finally exceed expectations or meet expectations. So I'm going Bucks Nets with the Bucks winning actually.
Interesting.
Yeah. So other NFL news. Drew Brees retired yesterday. You know, pretty 42 years old, 20 years in the league.
Oh, did you guys see the news about Shaq Barrett?
Yeah, I got mad at that.
Went back to Tampa.
Yeah, today.
I think Drew Brees retiring is the best situation for probably everybody involved. The Saints, although they have a good team, as we saw last year, I don't think they have enough. They did have a lot of injuries last year, which hurt them for sure. But I don't think they definitely. I don't think they have enough to win another Super Bowl. For the fans, it's a little sad, but at the same time, now they can move on and start a new era with who I don't know, but and then just for the NFL, just seeing a great guy like that go out on a with a pretty decent career, like it would suck if he came back and somehow the Saints were just terrible and he goes out on a losing record and stuff like that. So I feel like it's a good situation for everybody. Sad, but it's good.
Yeah, for sure. We'll talk about him in a couple minutes.
That's true.
But yeah, he's obviously one of the greats. From going 32nd overall to Super Bowl champion to a top 10 quarterback in the league for the past 15-ish years. Maybe that could be controversial, but obviously
he's top 10 for sure.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a loss to the game, but you could see he wasn't the same this year. You know, he couldn't throw the deep ball very well. He's just checking it down to Alvin Kamara constantly. So this brings up another question: like, will Alvin Kamara be just as dominant next year with a different quarterback? Obviously, Alvin Kamara needs the ball in his hand to be efficient, but whenever you also have an older Drew Brees with not as much arm strength, checking it down to him all the time, maybe with someone like if they end up bringing back Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, who can throw a pretty good deep ball, will Alvin Kamara be just as effective? You know, that'll be a question that we'll figure out this year. But yeah.
I don't have much to say about Drew Brees. I think you guys summed it up well. The one thing I will say is I do think he should have retired. If you look at just his last playoff game, it was pretty horrendous. Nothing against the guy, but you know, it was you could tell that it was nearing the end of his career. But elsewise, you know what, the thing that has been talked about Drew Brees forever is he's been kind of criminally a little bit like, I wouldn't even say underrated, but just under talked about. Like he's not talked about enough in general in comparison to.
He's not really flashy.
Yeah, exactly.
He just like played the game home.
Yeah, and he wasn't ever considered to be like. I mean, you could say the same about Tom Brady, of course, but from the beginning to I think in the first 3 or 4 years of his career, he wasn't slated to be this all-time great quarterback. He's undersized, you know, great role model for what Russell Wilson became to be. So I as a player, as a quarterback, I really am impressed with his game, and it's a fun game to watch. And it's too bad it's over, but you know I think it was good time.
So yeah, speaking of quarterback situation for New Orleans next year, Taysom Hill got a 4-year, $140 million contract restructure, so that's extension. And then also I saw about an hour ago that the Saints are working right now with Jameis Winston on getting a contract done. They were talking about maybe doing some sort of what did I say?
Like a duo tandem. Like if, for example,
a hybrid offense.
Yeah, like if I don't know, if you're down and you're looking for a big score, maybe you throw Winston in there with his crazy arm, get something going. If you're winning or in a tight one, maybe you got Taysom Hill in there, who's a little more, I guess, confident, mobile, and not as risky.
I mean, Taysom Hill also can play running back, quarterback, tight end, receiver. Probably play.
Kicker.
They might as well make him the center at some point too.
You know, you could even run him like sort of like a pitch pass sort of thing. Like Jameis Winston lines up, you don't know if Taysom Hill is gonna run it. You know, you can send Michael Thomas or somebody like that down wide. Like, who knows? It'll be definitely pretty interesting if they end up.
Make some trick plays.
Yeah, that would be, defense will have to be on their toes for sure, but that'll definitely be an interesting offense to watch if they end up finding a contract for Winston.
If they find a contract for Winston and he gets a start in like week 1, for example, I feel like he's got to come to play. Especially when a guy like Taysom Hill is getting that big of a contract, and with Winston sitting out behind Drew Brees for a while now, and just the talks about him being like the complete opposite quarterback, like kind of risky, throws kind of wild. I think he's got to, if he comes out week 1 and has a big game, that'll be big for him, because if not, they might just say,
we're going Taysom Hill.
Like
they went 3-0 with him whenever Drew Brees was out.
Exactly. So like if Winston gets the chance, he's got to
prove it. Yeah, he's got to show it. I mean, it's not like he's a bad quarterback. Like, he was number 1. He had to have been picked number 1 for a reason.
Yeah, but
like,
we just haven't seen anything. 15. We haven't really seen much.
Other than throwing 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions the same year.
yeah, exactly. But you can't be doing that. That's like Jared Goff numbers right there.
Or you could say that Jared Goff is throwing Jameis Winston numbers.
There you go. Jared Goff's been doing it longer.
But yeah, speaking of Drew Brees, we decided we were going to do our top 5 quarterbacks of all time. Obviously some of these players played whenever we were not born, so it was kind of hard to rank them, so we're just kind of going off career numbers. And some of them are still active, or were active.
I have 1 active quarterback.
Same.
I'll start us off. Number 5, the guy we've all just talked about, Drew Brees. He's first in yards, first in completions, second in touchdown passes. Like Noah said before, he won a Super Bowl. The only thing that Drew Brees hasn't won, and I had to search it up because I didn't believe it when I read it, is that he hasn't won an MVP. He won the Super Bowl MVP when they won, but he hasn't won an outright season MVP, and that kind of shocked. But I guess it's because his defense has never been amazing behind him, and his records haven't been all that great sometimes. But I mean, he's still an amazing quarterback. Like I said, first in yards and completions and passing completion rate, and we've all just talked about Drew Brees for a couple minutes now, so you guys know Drew Brees.
My number 5 is also Drew Brees. Obviously, like Brandon said, he holds the records for most passing touchdowns, most passing yards. Obviously, those will get taken back by Tom Brady this year, as Drew Brees retired, and he won't be putting up any more stats, and Tom Brady's coming back for probably another 5 more years at the rate he's going at.
He's going to play till he's 87
or
something like that.
Probably. But yeah, obviously he deserves to be up here. He's top 5 quarterback of all time. 1 ring, no MVP, but just his numbers in general just put him up there.
All right, so at number 5, this might shock a couple people. I have Aaron Rodgers.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, statistically, you could argue he is the GOAT. I'm not saying he is, obviously. I'm just saying, like, if you look at the numbers, there's a lot of numbers that prove that he's statistically in that conversation. He has 103.8 rating. I guess this would be considered, career passer rating, which is the single best, is the efficiency based on your completion percentage, or your yards per attempt and your touchdowns per attempt. And he has the highest rating over any other quarterbacks. I think Tom Brady sits at like a 96, 97.
103 is insane.
Russell Wilson is the second place, having a 99.
Active.
Yeah, this is active. But I do know that if you look at the other quarterback, I'm not 100% sure, but I know you have your Montana, you have your Manning, and you have even Drew Brees, who else? They're all in the mid-90s. So I'm not saying he's above them. I'm just saying statistically he should be in that conversation. He's won a championship. He's going to win an MVP. He just won them.
2 MVPs.
He has 2 MVPs. Rodgers is number 1 in NFL history in interception percentage, touchdown interception ratio.
Yeah.
And if you talk about just the last play of the game, you could argue he's probably the best quarterback to have in the last play of the game in terms of the Hail Mary. Maybe the luckiest. Who knows? But anyways, yeah.
Good to be lucky to be good, right?
Number 5, and I hope to see him climb that list as his last 5 to 6 years dwindle. So
the one thing I will say about Aaron Rodgers is he's not in my list. I'm a Green Bay fan, but something. I mean, I feel like you can argue you got your Tom Brady's and stuff like that, but I feel like, I mean, Patrick Mahomes will pass him if he hasn't already. But I feel like Aaron Rodgers right now might be the flashiest quarterback we've ever seen. Just the stuff he does.
You could argue like Lamar Jackson.
You could argue Lamar, yeah.
Maybe Lamar, yeah. But
maybe in a couple of years you could argue.
Yeah, but like the reason I still have Aaron Rodgers above like Lamar and Mahomes is because he's done it for so long. I mean, like I said, Mahomes, they will pass him. But
honestly, though,
I think he's the flashes we've seen.
I agree with that. But I would say, part of the reason why Rodgers hasn't even done more is because he was held behind Favre for so long. Like, that's a unique scenario. You kind of, we can't really hold that against him for the fact that he was behind there for so long. And whenever he came in, he right away, like, they changed. Like, they got a lot better. And, you know, I see Rodgers as being in the, he can definitely throw it just like Tom Brady can. He can definitely keep it up just with Peyton Manning and whoever else I'm gonna have. So yeah.
You go ahead with 4 there.
4? Okay, so at number 4 I have Drew Brees. Not much to say. I think we've talked about him enough, but you know, elite passer, top 5 quarterback of all time for sure. I think we all have him in our top 5. So yeah, not much else to say about him. Noah?
Yeah, my number 4 I have Dan Marino. Obviously, the one thing everybody's gonna say, oh, he doesn't have a ring. You know, I don't even know if he made it to a Super Bowl. He played in 1 Super Bowl, and he lost to the 49ers, also Joe Montana, who I'm sure all of us are going to mention eventually in this list.
Yeah.
He's no quarterback in history has completed more passes than him until, obviously, Drew Brees and Tom Brady did. He led the Dolphins. Don't know if he played for any other teams. I don't honestly know much about him, but you know,
we were definitely not born. He's most notable for the Dolphins.
Whenever you think of Dolphin quarterbacks, he's the one that's going to play, and he played for the Dolphins for his whole career. So you could say he's definitely one of the more loyal quarterbacks of all time. Obviously, most quarterbacks stay with the team they drafted unless you're Tom Brady and you're just a ring chaser. But yeah, obviously the one knock, like I said, doesn't have a ring, but his stats, you could say that his stats make up for that, but at the same time they can't. But, you know, great quarterback, number 4.
My number 4 might be a little biased. I have Brett Favre at number 4. He won 3 MVPs back to back to back. He's top 5 in all or most offensive categories. He played, I think the number I saw was 297 consecutive games. And I mean that's just an insane stat. Nobody will ever do that again. 297 consecutive games played.
Jeez.
Nobody will ever do that again. That's how he got his nickname Iron Man, I guess. He won a Super Bowl, obviously. And I mean, you got to be top 5 when your first completed pass was to yourself. So, number 4.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning won 5 MVPs, which is just insane. I think that's the most of all time. But that's just the thing with Peyton Manning is his regular seasons were great.
Yes,
he always had great regular seasons.
Aaron Rodgers has 3 MVP awards.
No, he does not.
Yeah, he does.
The website's tripping. Anyways,
It's .org.
Yeah, like everyone's hate on Peyton Manning was he never really showed up in the playoffs. His all time.
He does
2011
have,
and 14.
This is his 3rd.
Oh,
His
nice.
3rd this year.
His regular season record is 186 and 79, whereas his playoff record is 14 and 13. So it's still positive, but I mean, you'd like a top 5 quarterback of all time to be higher than 500 in the playoffs. He made it to the Super Bowl 4 times, won it twice. If you count playoffs and regular season together, he's got exactly 200 wins, which puts him in second place. Yeah, he's number 3 for me.
Yeah, my number 3 is also Peyton Manning. Obviously, like Brandon said, he wasn't the best in playoffs, but how many rings did he have? 2, one with the Colts, one with the Broncos.
Went out with a ring.
With the Broncos in Super Bowl 50 against the Panthers. Yeah, Brandon really summed him up. Obviously, I just started watching football near like the end of his career, so obviously I didn't see prime Peyton Manning. But even at age, like I think he won it like 38, 39 with the Broncos. You get see even in that year, he was sort of like, I won't say dominant, but he was definitely top quarterback still. So if any years were like that, then sure, he's definitely up here. So number 3.
All right, so number 3, I have Joe Montana. People argue that he's possibly the GOAT. I think he held that position for a long time before Tom Brady. But I have him at number 3. Statistically, I have him a little bit below what my number 2 guy is. I think, honestly, my bias here is that I did watch a bit of Peyton Manning before I went, and I'm just going to go off with saying that he's my number 2, and that's more so why Joe Montana is my number 3 than anything. I enjoy Joe Montana. I've seen highlights of him, but I never really watched him. I don't know much about him, and I can't verify that he'd be better than Peyton Manning just off of what I've seen from Peyton Manning. I've been around it long enough to know that I've seen some pretty dominant performances by him, so I have Peyton Manning at number 2 as well. So
my number 2 is Joe Montana. Like Max said, he was probably the GOAT until probably 2-3 years ago, until Tom Brady took him over. Looking at his stats right here, I just noticing he has 26 comebacks and 28 game-winning drives in his full career. I think that's up there with the most of all time. He played 15 years, 2 for San Fran, 13 for San Fran and 2 for Kansas City. Obviously, he won. I don't know how many rings he won. 4. He won 4. Were they all with San Fran? Obviously, pretty sure they won like 3 or 4, 2 or 3, a couple in a row. With that Jerry Rice team, and people like that. Obviously, I didn't watch him play, so I don't know that much about him. But just looking at his stats and seeing maybe a bit of film on him, because I have watched a bit of like games back then, he's definitely number 2 for me.
Yeah, just like Noah said, I got Joe Montana number 2 for all the reasons Noah has. Just to continue off what Noah said, he won 2 MVPs. Like we said, he won 4 Super Bowls, but the thing that separates Joe Montana and Peyton Manning is they both obviously had great regular seasons, but Joe Montana continued it in the playoffs. He made it to the Super Bowl. He was 4-0 in the Super Bowl. He didn't lose. In the Super Bowl, he has the best passer rating of 127.8, which is just absolutely nuts in 4 games. And in those 4 games, he didn't throw an interception. So, I mean, he was just a great playoff performer, and for that reason, I have him over Peyton Manning. My number 1, I don't think is any surprise to anybody, is Tom Brady. If you still had Joe Montana or Peyton Manning or anybody else over him, I don't think you do anymore after this season. 3 MVPs, 10-time Super Bowl, 7-time champion. Like I said earlier, Peyton Manning's second with 200 wins. Tom Brady's first with 264 wins, which isn't even close.
Of all time?
All time, he's number 1, 264,
Yeah,
and
not
second's
close.
200.
Not even
But
close.
and it's just gonna continue. This is regular season and playoffs combined, but that's just gonna grow. He's won the division title in all but 2 of his years. One of those being last year.
this is for all 3 of us, by the way.
Yeah, all 3 of us had Tom Brady.
I mean, I'll let them continue.
Well, I
but
don't have
it's
any.
just
I have like
insane.
one more thing. Obviously, like I just said, my number 1 is also Tom Brady. I kind of feel like unless you're like an anti-Brady fan, or like you hate him, like I'm not a Tom Brady fan at all. I don't like him at all. But I'm smart enough and I know enough about football to know that he's the best quarterback of all time. Sure, you might not like him. You might say, "Oh, I don't," just because I don't like him. He's no, shut up. Don't ever watch football ever again if you don't think. His stats prove it. His play proves it. You know, he's 43. He's turning 43, turning 44, I think, actually. And he's still playing at elite level. He's still probably, right now, top 6, top 7, arguably top 5. Depends who you ask. And he doesn't seem to be slowing down at all.
And he just signed a nice contract.
And he just got his bag.
Which means,
He
well,
just got
no,
paid.
like he had a pretty friendly deal, honestly.
Oh.
Like
Well,
he,
41 mil.
yeah, I know, but considering, like,
I mean,
he did it
he restructured
specifically-
it so they could get
yeah,
the players
exactly.
back.
That's what I mean. He's looking for more. Like,
Yeah,
he's not
no.
done.
He's not done. No,
he's
no,
not
no.
anywhere
I
close.
think the
to
best
done.
thing about Tom Brady, out of all these quarterbacks, is seems to me to basically continue to have this mindset, and this is why everyone hates Tom Brady, is because he kind of seems as like this try hard, like, I don't know, like kind of like teacher's pet type
What do
guy,
you expect?
right? And I'm saying is like you need that type of mentality to continue to be this freaking clocked in at this age. Like most 45-year-old guys just want to, like, you know,
They're sitting on the
have
couch
a-
eating
have a
chips,
beer,
watching Tom Brady.
watching. Like, you take a break, but this guy, it's like he's on a whole different mission. Like, he's just like, no,
I'm playing till I'm 60.
I'm
Yeah,
winning
you-
10 Super Bowls
You look
in
at
my,
like,
in my life.
if you look at his pictures, like of like each year of his like draft, he literally like looks older when he was first drafted than he does now. Like, he looks like,
He had a fatter face. I know that.
like he just looked like a completely different person. It's just man on a mission from day one. So yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's number 1.
Well, I mean, it's just speaking. I mean, like, he was a 6th round pick, so it's like his whole career he's had something to prove.
Yeah, no, he's wired
And
differently now.
I remember whenever I watched the Tom Brady documentary on YouTube a couple of months ago. I remember he came into training camp and he looked at Robert Kraft. He said, "You did not make a mistake drafting me. Like, I'm gonna show to you why this was not a mistake to draft me." And then look what he did. He won the starting job his second year. He played in the playoffs his rookie year.
And even if you do hate Tom Brady, like, how can you hate a guy that like is like? Do you guys not see the videos of him like tossing the Lombardi trophy?
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine he dropped it.
I know if he dropped it, but like just like the fact that like he was doing that is just
And
kinda,
getting
like,
someone to help him.
Yeah,
It was
get-
the Tequila
yeah,
Boys
I thought it
or
was-
whatever it was. It was
I don't know.
something like that.
I thought that was funny. I thought it was a different side of Tom that
Yeah.
we don't normally see. So
Yeah.
I
And just
don't
those
know.
videos
I
with
can't
Gronk
hate
after
that
they won
guy.
Yeah, the dun
Yeah.
dun dun. Like,
You know,
Dun,
like
dun,
how can
dun, dun.
how can you hate a guy that like has
We
brought
can't
you all
be
these
stopped.
experiences? Like, we've seen him just be dominant all these times, and like, I don't know, if we didn't have him and we'd had freaking Cam Newton winning the Super
Yeah.
Bowl, like, I don't need that.
Maybe it's just me personally, but I know, like,
The
when
Bills.
I was just like I really got into football last year, but I kind of kept up to it the last like 5 years, like watching a few games here and there. And I hated Tom Brady then, but just like
I
his
respect
age
it,
and his
yeah.
legacy and his story, like, I mean, I still don't like him, but I don't hate him. Like, I respect.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Same
agreed.
here.
Agreed. Yeah.
All right, let's see this new surprise segment.
So
I'm
I
scared.
sort of
I'm
made a
scared.
segment. Yeah, close your laptop for this. I'm keeping mine open.
If I get
So I
embarrassed,
made
I'm
the
quitting.
script.
Quitting
Like
the show.
we make
We're
scripts.
shutting the pod. We're stopping the podcast. We should say an ending in case.
Yeah,
we
if
don't-
you guys don't see this, then you know that they did awful. If you see this, they at least did all right at the segment. But yeah, I made the script for this and I put in a completely
It
different
has to do
segment.
with football. I don't know that much.
I blanked it out so like all Max sees right
Is it
now is a bunch
football?
of black.
It's with
Is it
black.
football?
So yeah, I'm gonna tell them the title. It is called Trivia Time.
I'm
Okay,
so
great.
scared.
I'm gonna
So
pull
scared.
my lapbook back here. I'm gonna black it.
How many questions are there?
So we talked about NBA and NFL today. So there is 5 NFL, 5 NBA.
Oh Christ! I'm gonna go.
We're gonna keep score.
If I can go 5
So
for
it's
10.
you
If I
guys
can go
here.
5 for 10.
I might give you a couple bonus points if you guys can guess the certain stat line or something like that. So I got 5. First 5 are gonna be NBA, then the second 5 are gonna be NFL. So we'll start with number 1. It's gonna. You guys want to do?
We should
Both
probably
have a-
answer at
both
the
have a
same time.
chance?
Both have an answer.
Yeah,
Both
we
have
should
a
both
chance?
answer at the
Both have a
same
chance.
time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna shout it out.
Okay, number 1. Who has scored the most points in a single NBA game?
I
I
knew the
got
answer to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilt.
Same.
How many points?
100.
100.
Okay, 2-2.
Okay.
This one's gonna be a bit harder.
Okay, that was
Who
easy.
holds the record for most consecutive double doubles in a single season? Bonus points for how many, if you can guess the many games.
No. It's not Russ.
Okay.
I'll give you.
think
I'll
I
give
got
you.
an
I'll give
answer.
you a hint. He's active.
He's active?
Okay.
I wouldn't. Okay, I would have got it wrong.
He's an active player.
Okay, I know. I'm gonna say.
Wait for Brandon to get an answer.
Active double doubles?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it then. You want to go at the same time?
Yeah, but I don't know
If it's active, this is my only guess.
I know Brandon's guess is gonna be.
No, never mind. I was gonna say Gobert.
thinking about this.
Double
Wait, repeat the question?
Who holds the record for most consecutive double doubles in a single season? So you got a double double like consecutive games.
Alright.
And yeah, bonus points if you can guess how many.
What the hell? I got okay. I know I'm wrong, but I'll just.
This is a hard one
because I don't know it. I don't want to waste too much time.
Let me just give me a second. Let me think about it for 5 more seconds.
This all time,
This is the still stands today. Yeah,
but it's an active.
it's an active player. Right
It
now.
wasn't this year though.
No,
Okay,
it
I'm gonna
wasn't.
say someone that I'm probably wrong with.
It wasn't this year, but it's an active.
Cal-
Wait. Can you give us one specification? Is it a guard type player? Is it a
It's not
center forward
It
type
is a
player?
center forward type player.
Oh shit.
Well, he's still playing today.
And he still plays today.
Who's an old center?
I didn't know that someone was gonna stump you. I mean, I knew it was gonna stump you, but I thought you guys would have an answer right now.
Active?
Yep.
An active power forward / center. I got no idea. I don't even have a guess.
I do have a guess because I feel like I've seen this somewhere recently.
I don't have a guess.
You guys want another hint? So
Yeah.
you guys, he's an NBA champion. If that helps.
No.
At all.
Okay, I got it.
Okay,
Okay,
you
you
take
ready?
it then.
Go ahead.
Take it.
Lamarcus Aldridge?
No.
Shit.
I don't have a guess.
Kevin Love with
Yeah, I'm okay.
53 consecutive double doubles in the
What?
2009 season when he played for Minnesota.
Makes
Ah, he was a beast.
He was
He
but I'm
was
not
a beast. He was the only player on the team.
think
No.
that. No.
LaMarcus Aldridge, does he have a ring? I don't think he has a ring.
He's on the Spurs. He probably had a ring.
I don't think he was there. He might have been there for
He's
1
got a
year.
ring. He's got a ring.
Okay. Number 3. What NBA team drafted Kobe Bryant?
I know this.
Can I answer it if I know?
Wait for Brandon to get an answer.
I think I know this.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's the Charlotte Hornets.
I was gonna say Charlotte.
Both
Hornets as
right.
well.
Both right. So,
I literally watched the video
so
yesterday.
3.
We both have.
Number 4, 2 more in the NBA category. Who has the highest career 3-point % shooting in history?
In history, it's gonna be somebody who took like 4 threes in his
Oh,
career.
I know the answer to. Fuck you.
You know the answer?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah. It's a close one. It'll be interesting. You'll smack.
If Max actually gets it right, it'd be interesting.
No, I know it. I
Okay.
100%.
Okay, go.
It's Steve Kerr.
It is Steve Kerr.
Nice.
So what are you, 4 3?
He's 3 for 4, and I'm 2 for 4.
So yeah, 3. But gave you bonus points, so 4 3. Gave you bonus points on the first one because you got both of them right. Number 5, last NBA one. Who holds the highest point per game average in history?
In history?
Yeah. 1 point for getting it, the player. Bonus point for guessing how many points per game.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, I'm gonna go with who I think it is, but I'm gonna go with Wilt, but I don't think I'm
I was
right.
gonna say Wilt too.
No, it is.
Can we get the bonus point?
Wait, who?
Average-
It's MJ.
It averaged
MJ.
a career
Really?
38.
38 for his career.
Oh, for his career?
Yeah, how many points for his career?
33, 34?
30.1.
Oh, I was close.
Wilt didn't average 30 points in his
Because he
career.
had like a bunch of like older years, right?
That's true.
Okay, moving. So it's 4-3.
Can you repeat the last part?
4-3 for Max going into the NFL portion.
This is where it gets to us.
How many years must a player be retired to be eligible for the Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
Alright, I'm gonna guess. Can I guess?
You got an answer?
6.
I was gonna say
5. Brandon got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
4-4.
It
4-4.
doesn't on odd number. It has to be even number for sure.
I was gonna say like 0. I was gonna say you could be right away.
Number 7. What team won the first Super Bowl? Since it wasn't called Super Bowl back then, but I couldn't find the real word. The very first Super Bowl in 1967.
Who won the first Super
Who won
Bowl?
the very first Super Bowl? Bonus points if you guess who it was against.
Okay, wait, who gets the first guess?
Well, I'll wait for Brandon to get an answer.
Who did they play?
Wait, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Shit. I don't know.
Okay.
You want to go?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Green Bay won the first one.
I know Green Bay won the first one, but I feel
Who'd
like
they play against?
I thought they
You
were
both got it right.
I know I feel like it's against the Browns. That's my
No.
fault.
I thought it was like the Giants.
No, Kansas City.
Kansas City shouldn't have a football team back
So what
then.
is it, 6-6?
Yeah. 5-5, I think.
Okay, 5-5. Number 8. What NFL receiver holds the record for most career receptions?
Okay, can I
got
go?
it.
Moss. Randy?
I was going to say Rice.
Yeah, Jay Rice.
I don't know. Shit.
There we go.
2 questions remaining.
There we go. I'm
2
up
questions
one.
remaining.
one.
At the time, what quarterback became the first to ever rush for 1,000 yards in a single season?
Who was the first?
Until Lamar did it last year. Whose record did Lamar break last year?
Can you?
Are they current?
They're not.
No.
Okay, can I guess?
Brandon, you got an answer?
Sure.
Vic.
I don't have a guess.
That's Vic.
Yeah, back up there.
It's
baby.
Vic.
How do you
Six.
not guess
Oh,
Vic?
it's last question.
How do you not guess? He's
I'm
the
gonna
only guy that runs the ball.
I'm the only other quarterback that's ever ran the ball.
know.
If you guys both get this, I'm gonna have to find a new question. 6-6. Last question.
We're doing them.
What quarterback holds the record for most rushing TDs?
Wait, is he active?
Yes.
He is. Okay, can I guess?
Brandon, you got an answer?
No, not yet.
This is for the marbles.
I know.
It's for the first ever trivia time on the
Max-
Valley Sports
Max-
Podcast.
He's active. Who sits on the goal line does a lot of QB sneaks?
You want to call a lifeline?
No. He's still active. He's too young. Oh, God. Okay.
Max?
You go first. You went.
Okay,
I
go
went
ahead.
first last
Go
time.
ahead.
This might be Tom Brady.
I think it is Tom Brady, but
Go ahead.
I'm gonna, so I don't fuck myself over. I can say whatever I want, right? Tom
Yeah,
Brady.
go ahed. No.
It's Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Fuck! I knew it.
Really?
Cam Newton. Fuck.
Okay, we're tied. Okay, we're tied. We gotta go to overtime. Do you guys want NFL or NBA question?
NBA.
You want an NBA? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's the one I know more.
That's fine. Me too.
I'm gonna go back to this.
Oh, I was gonna say Cam Newton. I was just not saying that because you said Tom Brady. I'm like, if I say it wrong, I definitely lose. If I disagree, I don't lose. Like,
Okay.
Oh.
oh, this is the best part of the show so far. Honestly.
We should do this more
My
often.
heartbeat's insane right now. Oh.
I'm trying to find a good one here.
No, it's fine. Fuck. I should have won that. I knew that too. I was like, of course it can.
If you guys both get this one, we'll go back to NFL.
Okay.
Who has the most NBA coaching title wins in history?
Okay, go. I'm ready.
It's wrong.
I feel like Max is gonna get this
I
one.
know Max is gonna get it too. I'm wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, it's Max's turn to go first.
Phil Jackson.
Winner of the first ever. Oh yeah, wait, what? You weren't gonna get
I
it.
was gonna say Phil Jackson.
Yeah,
I didn't think I was right.
You were gonna say him?
Well, okay,
The
then.
documentary.
Okay, fair enough. I jumped the gun there. My
That's
bad.
okay.
No, we'll go back to NFL because
One
NFL.
more.
One more.
I
for
didn't think
NFL.
I won that fairly. I didn't.
Yeah, that was my bad. I kind of jumped the gun there.
I was just gonna guess Phil Jackson because of the documentary. I had no other.
You could have said Greg.
That was my two options. I
Well,
was like,
I was just
Greg.
hoping for you to say Greg.
no.
Um,
I felt like there was gonna be like a Boston coach who won like 15
Yeah,
or something.
I mean,
like that.
yeah. Phil Jackson won with the Lakers and the Bulls.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I feel like I should have won. I got robbed twice.
You got robbed. No, it was your fault. You
Okay,
said
here's
Cam.
a good one. Here's a good one. Where did 2017 NFL first-round pick Leonard Fournette play college football at?
I don't know colleges.
Come on, man. I'm gonna guess.
You saying come on because the bad question? Or you think you should know it?
First one.
Okay.
Bad question. Second, I'm gonna say LSU.
I was gonna say whatever team the quarterback that's going first plays for.
This year?
Yeah.
So Clemson.
No way you got
Yeah, Max got it. LSU.
Oh, really?
There you go.
It
I don't know
was LSU.
colleges. I don't know colleges.
Wait, actually LSU?
It was LSU. Yeah.
That's cool.
Where's LSU?
Louisiana State.
Louisiana.
So I guess I won.
Yeah, you won the first ever trivia time. We'll definitely have to do that more often.
You know overtime.
I keep winning against Brandon
I'll
now. I
take-
won
I
last
just beat
night. I won last night. Won today.
Yeah, but you lost fantasy.
No,
In hockey and basketball.
not this
But
week.
yeah.
I'm playing him in fantasy, so I can take it easy, I guess, this week.
Exactly. Good and easy week.
That'll be it for today. We'll definitely incorporate some more trivia time into further episodes.
No.
No, okay. Maybe not then. But if you enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
See ya.